पण इथे चालेल एखादं पोस्टर वगैरे.
पोस्टर नाही, आम्हाला झाडं द्या. आम्हाला चालते. पायांचं काहीतरी करूयात वाटतंय नाही. तरी हा आणि हा गुडघा मॅच पण स्ट्रेट
मी पण असंच बसू. नको नको
तुला थोडं
मी असं बसतो.
करेक्ट.
माझं
येत आहे ना ऐकू? Okay.
So
Are you ready for it?
yes.
Taylor Swift's we should.
2 hours later.
Okay. Hello. My name is Diksha.
And my name is Afreen.
And welcome to the very first episode of Bepathar, the podcast.
Yes, so let's just get straight into it.
Okay.
First of all, how are you thinking?
I am good. I'm excited.
Same.
How are you?
Very excited. Finally, we are doing our first episode after doing a lot of
Short
content and all. Let's start the main thing.
Yes.
So,
Okay,
the
go.
first memory lane. So should I?
Go.
Okay. So my first
Like, what is your first memory that you remember? Youngest self.
The first memory that I have of myself is that I was very young, like 3 or 4, I guess, and I had a cycle, a small cycle that मतलब जिसके वो 4 पहिए नहीं होते सपोर्ट वाले, and मुझे चलानी नहीं आती थी, and I used to go to ride it, and all the elder people, like the elder children of my village used to come and they used to ride it, and I just used to see them कि हाँ चला रहे हैं. And then when I used to come back, then my mother used to scold me that खुद लेके जाता है और खुद चलाता ही नहीं दूसरों को ही देता है चलाने
But
के लिए.
you have this distinct memory.
Yeah. I have.
Like through your eyes, you can
Yes.
see your mother.
Yeah, totally. I had that red color ka cycle, and which I fell off once, and I still have that injury in my back. But it was nice. It was और वो साइकिल टूट भी गया फिर ऐसे ही लोगों ने चला के लोगों ने तोड़ भी दिया वो. That's a different thing.
So, for me, the first memory that I remember is that I am standing in our living room. The TV is on, and do you remember वो एक खेल रहता था जहाँ पर you had to match the shape of the क्या बोलते हैं यार उसको, like so it was a geometrical game.
हाँ, I get it. Yes.
हाँ, तो triangle में you had to insert the triangular shape, square में square, circle में circle. So I remember either I was playing or somebody, my brother maybe, was playing with that game, and I just ran in the kitchen, and my father was like, what happened? And I was like, my mother called me, so I went in, and I remember crossing that from living room to kitchen, going to my mother, and then remembering my father asking कि तुझे सुनाई दिया your mom calling, because we didn't hear her calling your name, and I was like, she called me, and she had actually called me. So
nice.
That was
This is strange actually. Like there are a lot of things, but we don't actually remember कि क्या हुआ था exactly.
क्या हुआ था मतलब
it
glimpses रहते हैं.
It is like we have like a dream we had last night, और अभी वो थोड़ा थोड़ा याद आ रहा है.
Definitely.
It's nice.
But do you think this is what actually happened, or you have
No.
Ratified it?
No. I know actually it happened because I remember it because my mother used to tell, like whenever somebody used to come or whenever she had to tease me, she used to tell me this incident that कि इसको तो कुछ ये तो बहुत ही भोला वगैरह है, यानी इसको कुछ बोलना नहीं आता है, लोगों को साइकिल लेके जाता था और खुद चलाता नहीं था, लोग ही चलाते थे. Why do I remember how old I was? Because I remember 2 things. One, we were constructing our house, that was in 2010. Before that 2-3 years, so we used to live in Anantnag. That is why I remember this timeline. I remember these 3 things, that we used to live in Anantnag when my sister was born for a year and a half or 2 years, and then we came home back and we started constructing our house. So this is like छोटे memories I have.
But I also have exactly the same relation because this memory is from Kolhapur, where I was
Oh.
born. And then, right around when I was 3.5, 4, we moved to Pune.
Oh,
So
no.
it has to be before I turned 4, this memory.
Oh,
So
no.
maybe I think I was younger also than 3.5, maybe 3 I was.
And I don't know why, but after 2011, I remember everything that has happened in my life. Like each and everything, I have this proper image of every movement, every incident in my mind that what had happened. But before that, I don't.
Oh, of course, you were a child, you were
I was
a baby
yes.
before that.
That.
But I'll tell you a very funny thing. As you get older, little bit older, I'm not saying,
Huh.
like, you do start forgetting.
Oh my god.
You do. So this recently happened with me. I'll just digress a little bit about memory. Ki one of my friends, he reminded me, he actually shared a memory where him and his roommate didn't have their house keys.
Oh.
And they got locked out of their house at like minus 15 degrees Celsius or something, and it was heavily snowing outside. And one of his friends was just wearing socks. And didn't have any jacket or anything. He's actually a dear friend of mine. So apparently they had called me and they had come to my place. They spent the night. I have no memory of this.
In the socks.
I have no memory of this.
Like nothing. You don't remember anything.
Nothing. That's funny, right? How memories work.
It is a bit scary also.
More than scary, I'm like, I have no memory of this
Oh my
at
God.
all. Anyway,
Yeah.
so that happens as you get older a little bit. Speaking of memories and stuff, how had you envisioned Mumbai or Maharashtra to be? Like, do you have any funny associations
Yeah.
towards it?
You know, when I used to be like a child, like 7-8 years old, I had I'm like that fantasy of being in Bollywood, being a superhero and all. You know, हर बच्चे को होता है कि मैं भी like I used to watch very funny and crazy serials, that superhero serials on TV. So I just had this, I used to watch on YouTube that vlogs of people going to Film City and they showing the sets of the serials that I watched. So basically I used to think earlier when I was a child, when I didn't know how films are shot, I used to think it is like that. Like I used to tell my children कि तारक मेहता का उल्टा चश्मा is a society and it is shot in a society and they live there.
So you thought कि Mumbai is like that?
Yeah, I thought कि मुंबई में हर गली में रोज शूटिंग ही होती है. Like people are standing in their windows and watching कि हाँ आज अमिताभ बच्चन यहाँ पे गोली मार रहे हैं.
या फिर you thought कि actually लोग रह रहे हैं और डॉक्यूमेंट्री की तरह कोई तो शूटिंग
Exactly. And I didn't know anything about editing. I didn't know anything about performing, that they are performing on camera. When I first got this idea, they are performing, it is acting, each and everything is planned and staged. I couldn't believe it. Because as a child, I used to feel that, I used to watch those serials and they used to be so like,
well made.
no, not actually. When I eventually grew older, I realized कि अरे ये तो बहुत ही चिल्लू पिल्लू है.
But at least आप छोटे थे. Even now some grown-ups think कि ऐसे ही होता है कि लोग
Exactly.
people are living their lives
Yeah.
and somebody is just shooting,
And
filming them.
I told you ना, I used to wonder कि यार how is the camera moving, like अभी यहाँ पे था, अभी वहाँ कैसे चला गया, अभी इनके घर पे था, उनके घर कैसे चला गया. Obviously you too have been in Maharashtra, in Mumbai, in big cities since birth. So it is. So how was your perception? How was your vision of a rural area, or चलो समझो कश्मीर, और how did you imagine कि as a child कि कैसे होते होंगे पहाड़, बर्फ वगैरह and all?
तो बिफोर आई वेंट देयर कुछ ऐसे दिमाग में था नहीं कि ये होगा, वो होगा, ऐसे होगा, बर्फ होगा. मतलब आई डोंट रिमेम्बर नाउ. आई मस्ट हैव थॉट अबाउट इट एज अ चाइल्ड बट आई डोंट हैव अ मेमोरी ऑफ इट. One distinct मेमोरी इज दैट कि जब हम, इट्स नॉट डायरेक्टली रिलेटेड टू कश्मीर, जब हम लद्दाख गए थे
ओके.
तब आई मस्ट हैव बीन इन 3rd स्टैंडर्ड आई थिंक.
हाँ.
तो जब हम गए थे तो पैंगोंग लेक गए
Oh.
एंड इट वाज रियली रेयर इन 90s कि पैंगोंग गए हैं लोग और फैमिली का ग्रुप और यू नो टू सी दैट गॉर्जियस लेक.
Yeah.
I remember getting off, you know, seeing that beautiful blue. It was actually a little bit cloudy that day, but it
हाँ.
was still serene and gorgeous. और फिर किसी ने तो हमें बताया कि जो आपको वो पहाड़ the mountains that you can see from here are in China.
Oh, yeah.
So then I was like, what? That is, that was the first this, so we are actually attached. So like geographically I couldn't fathom it ki, oh my god. So then after coming back to Pune, Thane and going to school, I remember telling this to my friends कि actually पता है हम गए थे पैंगोंग लेक और वहाँ sunset हो रहा था और यहाँ there was still daytime and I saw the sunset happening but here it was still afternoon and everyone believed me and my child brain was also convinced कि everyone is going to be convinced about this story. So that is a funny recollection I have of Dal Lake. या फिर in general north of India क्योंकि at that time ऐसे कुछ I could not dissect कि अच्छा कश्मीर अलग है, लद्दाख अलग है, ये अलग है, वो अलग है.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Funny. Like you have lived in a city always, all your life, and I have been in a village, or you can say in a state where there are borders, where we share borders with another countries. So what do you think? What is the difference and what are the similarities? Because now you have been in Kashmir for a while and you have lived in cities also. So what similarities did you think there are in the both regions?
Wow, good question. Okay, so similarities, geographical similarities बिल्कुल भी नहीं है.
Not at all.
Of course not. और population density wise भी there cannot be comparison. Cities are far more populated than border regions. But there are many things that actually I found surprisingly common is how families function. It is so similar to city life and border region life. क्योंकि जैसे मेरे माँ ने पापा ने मुझे बड़ा किया, the growing up I got or the lessons or whatever morals or type of parenting that they did with me especially and my brother, it was very similar in Kashmir as well, the parenting style. जब मैं अब जाती हूँ कश्मीर तो the way mothers and fathers are treating their children is similar the way my parents treated me as a child. मतलब overly protective, of course they were protective of me as a child, but not to that extent कि they will be scared for me all the time कि अरे गिर ना जाए, ये ना हो जाए वो. They were free. मतलब even if I fell down, they looked after me, they took care of me, took me to a doctor and stuff. But I had never seen them scared as parents कि अब क्या होगा. And then similar things are happening in Kashmir also, where a mother will just let that baby or a child वो grandparents के साथ छोड़कर she'll go to farms and come back after 2-3 hours and the baby will be crying also, playing also, figuring it out for itself. तो parenting style का I see there are big similarities.
Nice. I didn't actually think of this ever. Because I guess parenting in Kashmir is a bit of a concern.
Yes, but people are not scared मतलब mothers and fathers are not like scared कि नहीं नीचे नहीं रखना है बेबी को, क्रॉल नहीं करना चाहिए.
Not at all. वैसे मतलब हमने पूरा बचपन मिट्टी में खा के गुजारा है, like nobody.
See?
And it's good actually. असं नाजूक नाही होत मग आपण. दॅट्स गुड.
Do you have any common factors that you find between border region or Kashmir and Pune or in general Maharashtra?
Actually, I don't think of anything, but I guess the idea to get education and all, like in border areas, people aspire to get into good colleges, move out of their small villages and go where there are good colleges or good schools. And coming back here, when I got here and I got to know that people here are also aspiring the same कि भाई मुझे न्यूयॉर्क जाना है, मुझे जर्मनी ही जाना है, लंदन ही जाना है. This is the one similarity that I think that they always like pursue for a better place to go for education and a place where they can get better opportunities. So now it matters that for some this is their highest place where they can get the opportunities, and for the people who live here they want to move somewhere else.
Right.
But this is one similarity that I thought is. Other than that, I don't think there are, like, there must be many similarities. Like, I think one similarity is that in Marathi culture, जब किसी को पैर लग जाता है then they do namaskar. So it is so, you know, courteous and so kind कि हाँ, I used to think कि आशीर्वाद क्यों ले रहे when I was new, कि ये मेरे पैर ऐसे क्यों कर रहे हैं, and I used to get awkward. Then I once asked my friends and they were like, no, this is not Ashirwad, this is Namaskar, like this is a way to apologize कि मेरा पैर लगा. So these small things are also similar कि people there also कि पैर लगने के बाद we like are sorry, we apologize, like we don't do this, that, not that, but the feelings, the intentions are the same. So that kindness of people and people being warm. So not talking about Pudekar, but there are similarities.
Had you heard about Pune like that?
No.
कि बहुत ही snobbish रहते हैं यहाँ के लोग.
Not at all. I recently got to know about that कि जेवण तर करूनच आलाच असेल. Punekars are known for being खडूस. I recently discovered that.
But that was old Pune.
Yeah, I agree that पेठ वगैरे.
हाँ, पण म्हणजे
Because
older generation.
once I was somewhere, we were explaining a game at somewhere, and one Sadashiv पेठेतला माणूस, he came and I was going to tell him how to play it. And it was a different game, it was designed so nobody knew, and he was like and he couldn't play it.
Oh no, but that is not Puneri. That is in general most common male behavior.
Not male actually.
Yes.
Delivery boys from Pune are also कि I was like कि हाँ भैया यहाँ पे लाके दो, फोन उठाता ना पहले, नहीं आऊँगा, अभी नीचे आके लेके जाओ. So this is.
पर कोई एड्रेस भी difficult हो सकता है ना to get that.
True. But नहीं, Punekars, I like one thing about Punekars, they are into your face. Like whatever it is on your face. They are really real. So nice. But there are a lot of similarities actually. I actually do want to ask you something like अभी गणेश चतुर्थी होके गया है. So I like when I saw all those mandas who had arranged and who had Ganpati, I saw that they were performing one or other thing, like something every day, and there was a natak or there were some children who were dancing. So these small, and societies also had their competitions, gathering and all, and they performed, and there is art happening in the temple, and I have read it in my books also, in history also, that temples were a hub of art where art and culture used to happen. So you growing up in Pune, Maharashtra, because I didn't see all of this growing up. So how was your like how did you grow up, like how did you pursue it, like how busy were you doing all of this, pursuing your extracurricular activities like acting, singing, dancing or anything, or painting?
तो like you said, because इतना वो embedded है culture में of art and performing and celebration, most of the children of my generation were enrolled in extracurricular activities after school. The difference with me and my brother is that हमारे parents ने just as a hobby या फिर to keep us busy इसलिए कभी curricular में enroll नहीं किया. We were always enrolled in competitive sports, या फिर मैं जब मैं बहुत बचपन से थिएटर, सिंगिंग परफॉर्मेंसेस बहुत छोटी थी तब से कर रही हूँ. तो इट वाज नेवर कि स्कूल के बाद या फिर देयर वाज नो प्रेशर कि 80% आना ही चाहिए. नेवर. माय पेरेंट्स वर लाइक एज लॉन्ग एज यू आर डूइंग डिसेंट इन योर स्कूल, इन योर स्टडीज, यू शुड बी एनरोल्ड इन कम्पिटिटिव या फिर competitive extracurricular activities. So I used to be like school सुबह 7:30 to 12:30, फिर उसके बाद घर आके लंच के बाद थोड़ा सा जो भी होमवर्क होगा या फिर पढ़ाई थोड़ी देर, एंड देन सिंगिंग क्लास, देन जिमनास्टिक्स, फिर उसके बाद मेरा ड्रामा का रिहर्सल रहता था.
Oh wow.
तो आई थिंक दिस इज ऑल्सो, आई थिंक इट हैज़ अ लॉट टू डू विथ सिटी लाइफ.
True.
कि इतना सारा अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ हमारे स्कूल में ही रहता था. मतलब ऑल ऑफ दीज एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज़ एक्सेप्ट फॉर सिंगिंग फॉर मी, एवरीथिंग हैपेंड इन माई स्कूल इटसेल्फ. स्कूल ऑफर्ड दिस to us.
Nice.
And I think that comes from कि usually cities में both the parents are working. What are the children anyway going to do because they can't be left alone, or they'll be पालना घर से म्हणतात कि डे केयर में भेजना पड़ेगा फिर बच्चों को. A lot of the parents did that also.
Yeah.
But with me, because my mom is a homemaker, she could take me and my brother and run around us and behind us ki she used to take me to my classes, then she used to take my brother to his classes. So then the whole schedule was around our extracurricular activities.
Nice.
But like you said, do you think it exists in Kashmir or?
No, actually, you talked about how your parents made you enrolled you on all of this. I think that my parents would have also enrolled me if there were possibilities.
Right.
Like I used to play cricket and we used to play with that tennis wala ball. But then my father bought me a proper kit without asking. I still remember because he wanted me to play.
Yeah.
And always he used to tell my teachers also ki if he wants to play sports, then he will play sports. So my parents were supportive like that. But in Kashmir, there is no culture of performing arts or like singing, acting. And most of the area being rural area, and the place I come from, we don't have that much of culture in like inter-school competitions or inter-college competitions. We don't have much of sports competitions in schools and colleges. Whatever we have in the village. It's organized by the villagers and all. So it is like a very small scale, and not a lot of people are don't participate in it. But I think we should have something like that, because
Yes.
I think why it happens like that is because the generation before us, like the generation of my parents who are teaching our generation, like our teachers, they didn't have any idea of all this. This is what I think. Like none of them had the skill of singing, or if somebody could sing well, but he didn't know the theory to teach someone. Or nobody acted, or nobody painted. So there are no teachers to teach.
But I have a question, two questions actually, because actually Islam या फिर Kashmir has had amazing fabric, painting, all these cultures. So do you think weather has something to do with it? कि
No.
6 महीने सब बंद ही रहता है because of winter.
No, I'll tell you. You talked about fabric and all. Like Kashmiris, we have our own what we say, shawls and carpets, and you know what? It is art actually, but people don't think of it like that. And machines coming into it and all of that, now because of globalization. My mother she knows how to make those carpets. What? Yeah, her and her brother. They used to, when she was not married, after marriage also, they used to make that. And I have seen my mother, my mommy, my mama.
Not just that, even on Farron.
Yeah, no, that is still going on because
that is still
everybody wears Farron. But those handmade carpets, and they were really expensive. They were really good and really expensive carpets. And it was a good business also. But from a business point of view, it was a really good business. And it was pure art. Like it has a different language. Do you know that? Like they have a different language of that design.
मतलब
Like every gharana has their design and they have a different language. Nobody could read it except
मतलब
that.
name of that style of painting या फिर
And not just
sewing.
name, they just write that how we have to put that thread and which color of thread we will put and that design will get made. So they have that, there are like manuscripts like छोटे छोटे होते हैं and it's a checkbook सारखा म्हणजे checkbook जैसा होता है वो and they read it and there is one person who is reading that and they are following him and doing those threads and putting this color का thread and that color का thread like this like that and after
पूरा हाथ से.
हाँ पूरा हाथ से and they have one small tool and after 3 months when it is all made you see a big carpet with a really nice design and I've seen it in my childhood. I have seen it in winters 3 months I have seen this, like there is radio going on and there is this carpet making going on, but then now nobody is ready to do this yaar. I don't know why. Even with saffron picking nobody is ready to pick it with hands, so nobody is growing it now in
तो वो
the,
मशीन से निकलता है.
no हाथ से ही नहीं, you can't क्योंकि वो हाँ
Fragile.
बट नाउ यूथ इज नॉट रेडी टू डू दैट वर्क ना, सो अभी उसका ग्रोइंग भी कम हो रहा है धीरे धीरे. एंड देयर आर लॉट ऑफ आर्ट वर्क्स लाइक दैट इन कश्मीर, लाइक वी हैव खतम इन वुड वर्क. You don't see the old or like you have seen old houses in Kashmir, the woodwork they had on them, it was all carved, but now new houses don't have that because nobody in our generation is ready to take up that work. And I think that is like we are letting our culture slip away. Same with our language. If you go to areas like Srinagar, Badgam or Ganderbal or some modern or Anantnag, you see in households they don't like to speak in Kashmiri. Some households they don't like their, like if they have small children they speak with them in Urdu or Hindi and then they just proudly say that oh इसको तो कश्मीरी आता नहीं, सिर्फ उर्दू में बात करता
पर
है.
this is a common factor everywhere.
But no,
यहाँ
I
पर
don't
भी-
see this in Maharashtra.
नहीं ये बहुत कॉमन है कि मुझे मराठी नहीं आता, मुझे मराठी नहीं आती, मुझे इंग्लिश ज़्यादा, इंग्लिश इज़ माई फर्स्ट.
Oh my
मतलब नॉट टू पॉइंट फिंगर्स एट एनी बडी, दिस हैपन्स विथ मी ऑल्सो. मतलब फॉर मी नाउ लेसर, but especially when I'm traveling, when I used to live in New York, or also before that also, my first thought formation happens in English or used to happen. Now
Okay.
थोड़ा कम हो रहा है क्योंकि now I interact with Marathi lot more than
Yeah.
English. पर this happens कि
But-
मराठी नहीं इंग्लिश में बोलो या फिर हिंदी में, हिंदी का भी नहीं उतना नहीं, इंग्लिश में बोलो.
I'll tell you one thing. When I came here, I realized that Marathis love their language.
Yes.
They do, and you know, when I was new to Pune and I couldn't speak Marathi, or I just had started like speaking in Marathi, usually Hindi में बात हो जाती थी. Like whenever we spoke to someone from Maharashtra, I used to be like हिंदी में, like हिंदी में बात करो. And every time वो मुझे टोकते थे कि नहीं मराठीत बोल. They made it sure कि मी मराठीतच बोलतो, म्हणजे I am speaking in Marathi. And
मैं शिकतोस तू मराठी
हां
शिकला पाहिजे.
आम्ही शिकला पाहिजे. अँड दे आणि इतकं भारी वाटतं लोकांना की हा बाहेरून येऊन ह्यानी मराठी शिकलाय हा, लाईक दे फील सो गुड की ही इज स्पीकिंग मराठी. अँड दे मेड शुअर अँड दे ऑलवेज मेक शुअर इफ आय स्पीक इन हिंदी विथ देम असे मार्क की का मराठी.
पण हे सॉरी मी मराठीत स्विच होणार आहे कारण आफरीननी त्याच्या स्वतःवर इतकं काम केलं आणि खरंच इट इज डिफिकल्ट. म्हणजे आता मी खूप वर्ष काश्मीरमध्ये जातीये,
या
मला नाही पिकअप करता आली आहे काश्मीरी द वे यू हॅव बीन एबल टू पिकअप मराठी सो वेल. आणि तू खूप मराठी इथे जन्मलेल्या लोकांपेक्षा मुलांपेक्षा तुझं मराठी काही काही बाबतीत खूप जास्त चांगलं आहे. सो स्पीकिंग ऑफ प्रिझर्विंग
या
कल्चर किंवा मॉरल्स किंवा अपब्रिंगिंग और पेरेंटिंग, व्हॉट डू यू थिंक ॲज अ चाइल्ड, नॉट नाउ,
हां
what do you think your parents dreamt for you कि बड़ा होके या फिर अभी छोटा है तो अभी he should be like this या फिर बड़ा होके he should be like that?
I'll tell you the best thing my parents did, and I think every parent in this world should do, that they let me be the way I was. They never stopped me from doing anything, and they never told me if it's right or if it's wrong. But then they made it sure that I realized it myself, that what am I what that the thing I'm doing, is it right or is it wrong?
But how did they make you
I don't
understand
know.
that?
They both of them are like such like great personalities. Now I don't know. I swear my parents have never asked me how many marks did you get. What they just how was the paper? सभी क्वेश्चन किए क्या? नहीं रह गया. ठीक है रह गया तो ठीक है वगैरह. एवढंच आणि they I think they have always dreamt that whatever I want I should get that. And they have always given me things, like if I want something they have given me before I have asked. Like I don't know how do they always get to know that I'm going to ask them कि मुझे ये चाहिए. They have always like मुझे हर बार उनसे वो मिला है, like बिना पूछे मिला है. And the like they have never told me कि नहीं ऐसा मत कर. And I think the freedom they have given, not freedom, I won't say it is freedom, I will say that the trust they have shown in me.
Correct.
They believe and I can see in their eyes and they tell to people who come to say that कि बच्चे को थोड़ा गाइड करो या कुछ बोलो. वो बोलते हैं कि नहीं वो कर लेगा. I'll tell you an incident, small incident.
And do you think, because you have a younger sibling, you have a younger sister,
हाँ.
do you think they were similar parents to you and her?
Yeah,
या फिर
totally similar. We are not like हम में तो ज़्यादा गैप नहीं है.
Right.
कुछ 2 साल का गैप है. And I think they have like we grew up together. We have treated each other as like we are of same age. So we were like parented similarly. Yeah. I'll tell you one like really great incident. Once I had to write something, a letter or an application to my principal in Kashmir school of a leave or something I had to, and I asked my father to please write it and do it. And he was busy or he was doing something and he didn't. And I was like कि ठीक है मैं लिख लेता हूँ and I'll take his sign. And I wrote and I was like हाँ ये तो बहुत ही like it's not good.
How old were you?
I was 8, 9. And it's not good and it was in English and that time English like it. So I wrote it. I wrote my father's name where he had to sign. And I went to him and I was like कि लिख दो ना अभी जल्दी से 2 मिनट में हो जाएगा ये लिख दो कि ये कल स्कूल नहीं आ पाएगा ना. And he was like मैंने आधा ही लिखा था and he was like कि why do you need me, you are doing good, you are writing good, you know my signature, sign it. And give it to him. And no, he signed it himself, but he was like you can do it, you don't like
मतलब you wrote the letter and then he signed
you
it
can
for
do,
you.
he signed it. And this is the way they have like parented me. They have never told me कि ऐसा मत करो, ऐसा ही करो. They have like they have watched कि हाँ मैं ऐसा कर रहा हूँ, okay I am doing this, and then they have like unknowingly, like I never got that feeling कि they are guiding me or they are telling me ऐसा करो, but that they created that environment कि I realized कि okay I don't have to do this or I don't have to do that, I have to do this.
पर उन्होंने कभी ऐसे बोला नहीं कि बड़ा होके we would love see this, मतलब उन्होंने
I'll tell you one thing. Once my mother, she was like अरिजीत सिंह का कॉन्सर्ट था कोई तो and उसका वीडियो था. And she was watching that video and she was lying down, it was late in the night, and she very sentimentally and very like that वो hopeful eyes से she told me कि like I would love to see that day that you are on the stage and people are shouting like that for you.
see
काश तू
they
ऐसे
have
कर.
dreams for you.
They have, obviously they do have, but they don't tell me like I obviously because they must be thinking that तो pressure ये वो pressure आएगा and all, but they are really cool parents and the best parents ever, and like I don't think there will be anyone like them because they have never treated me as a child. They have always treated me कि हाँ if there is some decision to be made, even my sister, obviously if there are some things which are only dealt with the adults, they never came to us, like we never had any idea of that. But if there are some, they took our opinions in taking decisions also.
I can totally relate to this part because
हाँ
I am the younger one. I
Oh,
have
yeah.
an older brother. He's much older to me. But growing up, my parents took mine and my brother's opinion in everything. Of course, like you said कि अगर कुछ adult का चीज़ है जो समझ में भी नहीं आएगा
हाँ, हाँ,
बच्चे
हाँ.
के brain को, तो of course those things of course were not shared. But अगर कुछ घर का है, for example नया फ्रिज लेना है या फिर टीवी लेना है, we four of us used to go, our opinions were taken in consideration. It was never like कि हाँ ये बच्ची है या बच्चा है. They always used to, they still do, but especially as children, they made sure कि हमारा opinion भी लिया गया है. And sometimes it has happened कि जो मैंने और मेरे भाई ने बोला है वो they have appreciated and done that.
Actually.
Not just कि considered, but they have done that. I don't remember specific, but सेम एज यू कि ऐसे कभी लगा नहीं कि मैं बच्ची हूँ, आई शुडंट बी एबल टू, आई शुडंट वॉइस माय ओपिनियन इन द हाउस, नेवर.
No, you know, also the parents think that कि नई पीढ़ी है, इनको ज़्यादा पता है गैजेट्स के बारे में. Like if you have to buy a phone, if you have to buy a fridge, they used to be like कि मुझे या मेरी बहन को कि तू बता कौन सा वाला चाहिए, क्योंकि they used to think कि इनको हमसे ज़्यादा पता है इन सब चीज़ों के बारे में. And thinking of that, like I was talking, like you asked me कि your parents dreamt of something for you. Obviously they must have.
Of course.
And I definitely will love to complete those things. And what about you? Like you are pretty much in your career and all. Was this the same thing that your parents dreamt of, or obviously you wanted to do this? That's a different thing. But what did they want you to do, or was
there is a very, for me it's funny correlation to that. तो it was similar to you. ऐसे कभी thrust नहीं किया गया था हमारे ऊपर कि you need to do this, you need to study this. It was never that. Especially with me, I made almost all the decisions of what ग्रेजुएशन कौन से सब्जेक्ट में करना है, मास्टर्स करना है या नहीं करना है, एक्टिंग कंटिन्यू करनी है नहीं करनी है, सिंगिंग. सो इट वाज नेवर कि आप ये पढ़ाई करना ही चाहिए. दे लेट मी डिसाइड और मेक दैट डिसीजन. कि जब मैं 7th में थी तब से ही मुझे पता था कि मुझे साइकोलॉजी पढ़ना ही है. एंड आई यूज्ड टू वॉइस दैट एंड दे रिस्पेक्टेड दैट, एंड दैट्स व्हाट एग्जैक्टली आई स्टडीड. But I don't remember. I was much older. I was probably 12th में थी या फर्स्ट क्या बोलते हैं, फर्स्ट ईयर में थी शायद. And that time I remember my father, me and my mother, we were sitting in the living room, and out of nowhere for the first time my father was like, किती मजा येईल ना की दीक्षा जर पोलीस ऑफिसर झाली तर. आणि I was like, पोलीस ऑफिसर? I mean, look at me. Me इथे after college I make sure I have rehearsals for my plays, blah blah blah. And out of nowhere for the first time, I mean, great that my father thought that I could be a police officer and be that person. But I found it so funny and unrelatable because I was like, I cannot imagine myself as a police. I can play the character of a police officer really well, but I cannot be a police officer.
You should have said to him that once in a movie I will.
I think that's what I said to him. But this is I was like, we are very distant from where I see myself and where my father was seeing me. But ऐसे कभी भी नहीं हुआ कि I could not tell them कि मुझे ये परस्यू करना है. शायद उनको पता भी था विथ मी बिकॉज आई हैव बीन डूइंग दिस सिंस आई वाज अ चाइल्ड. उन्हें कुछ तो आइडिया हुआ था कि ये शायद आर्ट रिलेटेड ही कुछ करेगी. विथ माई ब्रदर इट वॉज अ सरप्राइज क्योंकि वो इंजीनियरिंग किया, फिर मास्टर्स किया इंजीनियरिंग, देन ही वॉज इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया. वहाँ जाके उसको पता चला कि ओ माई गॉड दिस इज व्हाट आई लाइक टू डू. तो देन ही केम बैक एंड ही बिकेम एन एक्टर. बट विथ मी बिकॉज आई हैव बीन डूइंग इट सिंस आई वॉज अ चाइल्ड, उनको कुछ तो इंक्लिनेशन था कि ये शायद आर्ट्स रिलेटेड ही कुछ तो करेगी.
But like how was your equation with your like for me it has always been like friends. Like I get scolded obviously, but it's most of the times they tease me when I do something, and first they'll scold for a while, but फिर पूरी उम्र चिढ़ाते रहेंगे कि तूने ये किया था, तो कितना पागल है, फनी वगैरह वगैरह ऐसे टाइप्स. Like friends, how was your equation with them?
It's not Okay, I'll tell you. Maybe this is the generational or age difference that we have. I don't want my parents to be my best friends. I don't. I want them to be my parents.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah,
I won't be
I
able
do.
to probably explain it in detail, but I want my mom to be my mom. I want my baba to be my baba. म्हणजे असं
Yes.
no, nothing can take that place.
True.
I have amazing friends. I want my baba to be my baba, my आई to be my आई, and that's exactly what they are. म्हणजे my father is a goofball. He makes fun jokes. He's this party of, you know, क्या बोलते हैं, light of the party. But it was never like कि now I'll be your friend. No, he's my baba. So जिथे जहाँ मुझे करेक्ट करना है, they will still correct me. I mean, I'm old, but they're my parents, so they will have this कि whatever you're doing, just make sure you're, you know, making sure that you've thought of everything before you take that step. Or it could be मतलब my father is a very successful businessman, and that's exactly what I am trying to do with my life. So then I go to him, Nachiket and we go to him for business advice. So it's that they were, and I don't want them to be my friends. I want my baba to be baba, and I to be I, and my dada to be dada. He can't be my best buddy because I have best friends. And there are certain things I cannot tell my best friends that I can tell my parents, and vice versa.
True.
And I like it like that. So आता आपण we talked about आई बाबा आणि growing up, siblings. Do you remember how your daily mundane routine was? Like, did your parents design it for you, or like how was, not in the sense of school, extracurricular, cricket, this that, but can you tell me something that was not funny, but maybe funny also, that happened while you were doing your mundane routine?
No, see, this I have seen nowadays parents doing like programming and planning the whole routine, but धोबी का कुत्ता ना घर का ना घाट का.
Oh my god, sorry काका काको.
But I'll tell you, I have never asked my parents कि मैं बाहर जा रहा हूँ. I just used to go.
What?
Yeah, and this is the culture in, like, now obviously now I ask them, or I just tell them कि हाँ मैं जा रहा हूँ ऐसे करके. But when I was a child, I used to be in Kashmir. I used to come back from school, put my bag, put my uniform, and run away. And not run away exactly, but like my friends used to wait outside my house, गली में बाहर, and we used to be so excited कि आज ये करना है वो करना है, आज हमें पहाड़ पे जाके, there used to be small fruits and it used to be a small shrub and thorny plant, and we call it in Kashmiri, sorry me विसरलो shit, so it's a fruit small like blackberry.
आठवलं यार, when you remember, tell us.
So we used to church. We used to go and go to eat them. Or tul, they are blueberries, blackberries, or mulberry. Those small fruits used to come in summer, in May, June. Then we used to go to eat that. We used to go to swim in the river.
Yeah.
We used to go to on some mountain. We used to continuously be doing something, and everything on our own.
And outdoor.
Outdoor. I still remember we used to play Luka Chupi in our village. Samuhik Luka Chupi. Every child of our village used to be a participant.
Yeah.
And there used to be two teams. One जिसका den होता था, and one which is hiding. And it used to always be in evening when sunset has happened, so that अंधेरा है, कोई दिखेगा नहीं. And I still remember we had a rule कि everybody will bring his own torch.
Seriously?
Yeah, and my father had got some torch from somewhere, that head वाला जो बांधना होता है, and everyone used to be like, hey, please मुझे एक बार वो use करने
मुझे
दो.
actually I remember लुका छुपी से, of course growing up in cities, मेरे स्कूल के दोस्त हमारे घर आए थे. I must have been in 4th standard 5th standard, और घर में लुका छुपी खेल रहे थे. नीचे जाके बिल्डिंग में खेल सकते थे, पर पता नहीं उस दिन क्यों घर के अंदर we were playing hide and seek. और जो वो वाला घर था हमारा, it had huge French windows, living room को, okay. तो मेरे दोस्त पर डेन था, तो आई हैड टू हाइड. Then what I had done was I was hiding between curtain and the window. And somehow he must have seen my feet probably. He could see me probably. I'm hiding behind the curtain. तो उसने क्या किया, उसने ये नहीं किया कि out, ऐसे नहीं किया. That friend of mine came and scared me. He made some noise and I got so scared that I did this.
नीचे
नहीं this. So the window was closed. And I was between the window and the curtain.
हाँ.
और फिर हंसने लगे हाँ वो करके नीचे उतर गई मैं. मतलब it had like a step जहाँ बैठ सकते थे and it had French windows. Then I got off and this that playing after and सब घर गए, ये वो dinner time हो रहा है and my father opened the curtain. तो जहाँ मैंने ये किया I had broken that glass with that jerk. इतने जोर से मुझे उसने घबराया और देन माझ्या पुंग्या टाइट. आई वाज लाइक अरे बाप रे ये क्या कर दिया. फिर 2-3 बार तो बोला मैंने नहीं किया एंड माय मॉम वाज लाइक आई वाज इन द हाउस. मुझे पता था उसके पीछे कौन छुपा है. व्हाट आर यू ट्राइंग टू. दैट इज वन थिंग. एज चिल्ड्रन वी थिंक वी कैन फूल आवर पेरेंट्स बट
बाप होता है.
बाप होता है. वी कांट.
No, but our लुका छुपी it used to be planned, professional. Like अगर आपकी टीम के 3 आउट हुए हैं और अभी 2 बचे हैं, then there used to be a strategy कैसे हम धप्पा करेंगे इसको.
बाप रे.
So it used to be. और हम कश्मीर में वो जंगल से जो गिरे हुए पेड़ होते हैं, like जो lightning से लैंडस्लाइड से पेड़ गिर जाते हैं, they bring them into the villages and then it's distributed by the government to the villagers or used for something. So it is kept in some common grounds and it is वैसे उसका एक के ऊपर एक होता है. उसके नीचे ना गुफा सी बन जाती है. हम उसके नीचे जाके लेट जाते थे एंड नोबडी कुड फाइंड. एंड आई स्टिल रिमेंबर कि रात का नमाज का टाइम हो गया एंड एवरीबडी यूज्ड टू गो होम. कल फिर से उधर उसी पॉइंट से ही चालू होगा लुका छुपी.
So nice. Okay, so that actually we should segue into our next segment, which is he is going to teach me Kashmiri.
हाँ.
Like he said, because I don't have a dedicated Kashmiri teacher.
हाँ.
When I go to Kashmir, our friend is going to be my Kashmiri teacher. तो आप लुका छुपी कैसे बोलते हो कश्मीरी में? What's the name for that game?
I Spice. I mean I Spice. We say I Spice only. There's no Kashmiri word for it. But आम्ही I Spice म्हणायचो.
आम्ही एक गेम खेळायचो डब्बा I Spice. Actually, the actual name of that game has some meaning and it is actually 2 words which I don't know.
हाँ, same.
डब्बा I Spice.
हाँ.
ऐसे ही उसका क्या मतलब
We
है?
also said I Spice, but we don't have a Kashmiri word for I Spice. I think we must have, but no, we used to say I Spice only. कि I Spice खेलेंगे.
लपा छुपी वगैरह असं काही
नाही असं काही नव्हतं. So गिल्ली डंडाला word आहे. We used to play गिल्ली डंडा also. So त्याला लटकी लोट म्हणतात.
लटकी लोट.
हाँ.
लटकी लोट.
So लोट is डंडा, लटकी is गिली. असं. बट लुका छुपीला नाव नाही. आम्ही आय स्पाइस म्हणायचो की चल आज आय स्पाइस खेळूया.
सो असं हे जर मला काश्मीरीत म्हणायचं असेल की चल ना आज आय स्पाइस खेळूया.
पाके आय स्पाइस गिंदो.
हां?
पाखो आय स्पाइस गिंदो.
पक्को आय स्पाइस.
पक हो.
पक हो.
Okay, I'll teach you some basic. चलो आज गिंदो आय स्पाइस.
चलो आज निंदो आय स्पाइस.
गिंदो.
चलो आज गिंदो
आय स्पाइस.
चलो आज गिंदो आय स्पाइस. चलो आज जाऊन लपाछुपी खेळूया असं का? ओके वेट परत सांग.
ओके चलो आज गिंदो आय स्पाइस. So which means कि चलो आज लुका छुपी खेलते हैं. And when you start playing you can say कि चब्या खटेत तो बछाणत. चब्या खटेत या चब्या चूरी तो बछाणत. छांडत.
तसंच
छ
स
छ
स
छांडत.
सांडत.
हाँ, सो इफ वट की तू छुप जा, मैं ढूंढता हूँ.
बापरे नको, मला साधं शिकव. आज आपण लुकाछुपी खेळूयात.
चलो आज गिंदो लुकाछुपी.
आज गंद
लुकाछुपी.
लुकाछुपी. चलो आज
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 गिंदव
गिंदव लुका
गिंदव
गिंदव.
लुकाछुपी या आइस पाइस.
चलो आज गिंदव लुकाछुपी.
हाँ, चलो आज गिंदव एंड एनी गेम यू नेम.
अच्छा हाँ, क्रिकेट.
चलो आज गिंदो क्रिकेट. इफ यू हैव टू से चलो आज गिंदो क्रिकेट, देन यू से चलो आज गिंदो बैटस.
चलो आज गिंदो बैटस. फिर मैं मारूंगी सिकस.
मॉकिंग कश्मीरी साइनस.
साइनस, दिस इज योर साइनस. I will hit
support
one sickles.
support us. We will play support us.
And then the ball will go to the mountain.
We live in India. No. Kashmiri accent is actually funny and
Kashmiri accent is not funny when Kashmiris
speak in
English.
English and Hindi also. Like it is not actually funny. It is wholesome, like funny
But
and
it's
cute. Yeah, cute. It is cute. So now you have to repeat the sentence that I have taught you.
I will go home, study, rehearse, and then tomorrow I will, because I've forgotten it already.
Oh my god. See, it's not easy to learn Kashmiri.
It's
So,
not.
yeah. So you'll have to do your homework.
I will.
Yes. So on that note,
Cool.
should we end today's?
Yes. So please let us know.
How do you like our conversation?
Yes.
And I think we are able to do and present what we want to.
Yes, and also give us ideas. अगर आपको if you want us to talk about certain things, that if you have any questions about my culture or his culture, write them in comments below. And
Yeah,
we
so
will
basically
try.
what we are doing, we are trying to explore each other's cultures, and that we want audience to see so that they also give it a thought set.
Correct. I think we
Yeah.
covered
Yeah.
all the topics for this episode.
Yes.
So we are at the end of episode 1.
Finally, we are
Yes.
concluding our first episode.
If you want me to say something particular in
Kashmiri, write down in the
go
comments.
Write that down in comments. I won't be able to read it, of course.
I will. I'll help you with that. So guys, please subscribe to the channel Bepathar,
Yes.
and
Share.
it.
Like it, subscribe it. Please आमच्या चॅनलला बेपथर BAE
PATHEAR. Sorry,
असं
not
आमच्या
ER.
चॅनलचं नाव आहे. त्याला प्लीज सबस्क्राईब करा, शेअर करा, कमेंट्स करा, लाईक करा आणि आम्हाला सांगा की तुम्हाला काय काय अजून ऐकायला आवडेल आमच्याकडनं.
सारी सूजी पन्न रिश्तेदारन पन्न दोस्तन वोस्तन यमन ते तुम हेकू सूजित यह वातन तुम हर कंस कि ये करान कोशिश पन्न सोरी पन्न माहौल बेस कत कर तो सारी करान सब्सक्राइब, सारी करान शेयर, कमेंट बे वनू अस कमेंटन मज कि तुम क्या बासान ये मुतलिक अस क्या हेको चेंज कर क्या हेको इम्प्रूव कर बस. सो ऑन दैट नोट,
Cool. See you.
see you in the next episode.